Our transit discussion continues. Transit in Toronto seems to be in the headlines almost daily, from the new LRT that's too slow to one that's over budget and overdue to fare caps and fare freezes. It seems there's always something. And as we head into an election, the only declared mayoral candidate so far is putting transit in the spotlight today.
Councillor Brad Bradford joins us live this morning to talk more about his plan to improve transit with a money-back guarantee. Councillor, you're going to sort of unveil more details about this later today, but here we are kind of breaking the news this morning. Let's talk about this. Before we get into your guarantee, just the transit situation in this city here. I mean, we did about a 4-minute kind of almost felt like a rant about what's happening, these issues, delays, over budget, finger pointing and sort of blame shifting, etc. Is it really possible to fix the mess of what's happening in the city transit-wise?
Well, there's that old joke that TTC stands for take the car.
Sorry.
And it feels like
Jen's never heard it.
I never heard of that one till now. Okay.
But, you know, that's how people feel. And the story with transit in Toronto is hurry up and wait. And I don't think that's good enough for our city. I don't think that's good enough for our TTC customers. We need to prioritize safety and reliability. You need to know that whether you're taking the bus or the streetcar or the subway, that those vehicles are going to show up on time and that they are going to get you to where you need to go. Mm-hmm. And I hear from commuters all the time that they are incorporating 15, 20, 30 minutes of buffer to account for the delays that we all experience when we try and take the TTC. So we need better performance, we need more accountability, and we need a TTC system that steps up for Torontonians to get the city moving.
Yeah, you kind of wish that the TTC operated more like a toaster, reliable. You put it down, you know what you're getting. It comes out, right? But right now you're feeling like people aren't getting their bang for their buck. So let's talk about this money back guarantee. It reminds me of like, hey, if your pizza's late, you get it for free. So how is this going to work? Do you think it's actually able to, you know, be applied to our system here?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, we all grew up with that 30 minutes where it's free guarantee. And this is the same principle. As a TTC customer, you are paying for service, but far too often, the TTC isn't delivering on their end of the bargain. So the money back guarantee is a proposal I'm bringing to council next week that is basically going to say, if that bus, streetcar, or subway doesn't show up within 15 minutes, if your trip is delayed by 15 minutes, we are going to refund your money. And it's an accountability exercise. It's about respecting our customers' time, and it's about making the TTC more reliable. You know, this is not a groundbreaking idea. Jurisdictions around the world have implemented this. You see it in Washington, D.C., you see it in London, UK, you see it in Singapore. But even right here in Ontario, Go Transit has had a similar policy since 2012. So we're not reinventing the wheel. I'm going to leave it to the TTC on how they want to stand this up and implement it. But we have the technology, we have the capacity, and I think it's the least that we can do for our TTC customers to say, we are serious about performance, we value your time, and we're going to do it better for people because that's what they deserve.
Is your suggestion then that you would model your proposal on kind of what Go Transit does? Before I had this breakfast job, there's no transit I can take now. But I used to take the Go train regularly, and sometimes it was delayed, but it was pretty simple. If you tapped on and tapped off and it was sort of too long, too late, you kind of got this refund quite easily. Is that the idea? Because if it's too cumbersome, it seems to me it's not really worth it and no one's really going to buy into it.
Yeah, we have to make it simple. And again, I will let the TTC design it. You could model it off of the one that's been in existence for over a decade here in the province of Ontario with the GO system. But that's really the idea, is our service has to be reliable for people. And again, this will improve reliability because we're adding in an accountability exercise to the TTC. Right? And so if they know that there is money on the line, there's revenue on the line, and that we have to do a better job in terms of performance and reliability, I expect the TTC to pull up its stocks and start delivering better for our customers. And I think, in turn, the downstream benefit of that is going to be more people are going to come back to the TTC. Because let's be honest, ridership is still not at the levels that we saw before the pandemic. It's creating a revenue shortfall year after year. And so we have to improve safety. We have to improve reliability. This transit service guarantee is a piece of that, telling the TTC it's time for you to do better, deliver for our customers. And I think if we can create that perception, that value proposition for our customers, more people are going to come back to the TTC. We'll have better service for everybody.
Yeah, it's definitely an
get a few
incentive
cars off the road, too.
that would help and ease up the traffic. So we've been asking our viewers this morning, what is your confidence level long-term in the TTC or the transit system here in our city? So I just want to read one. This comes in from Stephanie, who says, Toronto Transit is always late and over budget. Really difficult to have faith in a failing transit system.
How do you respond to something like that? I mean, it sounds very much lining up like what you're talking about this morning, but when you hear that from a rider.
Well, this is Stephanie's experience. It's the same as everybody else who's using the system. You know, the amount of text messages I got yesterday from folks in my network who were really frustrated that 10 centimeters of snow, again, in a winter city, had a catastrophic delay on performance here with the TTC. The TTC was preemptively telling customers, hey, heads up, 10 centimeters of snow, we might not be able to perform this morning. And the same thing today with Line 6, you know, a decade in the making, billions of dollars spent, and the system was down for 17 minutes. This type of performance is unacceptable, and it seems like the default during rush hour for the TTC is delay. That's not how you have a functional transit system in a world-class city, and that's not how we're going to encourage people to come back to the TTC to ultimately get people moving where they need to go faster. We have to step up our game.
Yeah, so Stephanie's email really represents a lot of the feedback we've had already. We're going to get to more of that throughout the morning, but in the meantime, Councillor Bradford, we know you get to get to your announcement. Thanks for being here this morning, talking about this. Good to see you this morning. Thanks so much.
Appreciate the time. Thank you.